What's good, y'all? Welcome back to our Washington Capitals franchise mode here on NHL 25, and we are here at the start of year number 4 here right in the preseason, and it has been a minute since I recorded one of these videos. It's been over 2 weeks for me, and I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, I'm kind of just remembering what we did last episode, remembering the team. Everything's kind of coming back to me right now, so hopefully that'll be quick adjustment there, but yeah, we are back here, episode number 13, I think this is. Uh, Already the start of year 4. This franchise mode has just been zooming by, and we have yet to make the playoffs. So I'm hoping that changes this year. Although, if you take a look at our roster, it's still not amazing. The good thing is, though, we have a ton of young talent now instead of just having one of the worst prospect pools in hockey. So there is that to look forward to. Of course, we have Gabriel Daig in net, 88 overall already at 20 years old, and I think he had a really good year last year. Okay, well, for a rookie, yeah, 905. And to have over 3 goals against and have a 900 save percentage is really good. So now I think we did go over the lines last episode, but I did make one change. I did end up slotting in Gavin McKenna, of course, our second overall pick from 2026. He is listed as a depth forward, so I did want to try to give him NHL time. I've got him on the third line there, and I also put him in on the second line power play right there. So I'm hoping he can have a bit better of a start to the season as he did last year because, well, actually, if I remember right, he had a great start, and then he just kind of really slowed down, and the negative 22 probably didn't help either. So I'm hoping he can actually break out this year. Not necessarily has to be a star right away, but prove himself to be an NHL player at the very least. So we're going to roll with McMichael, Leonard, and Iginla on the first line. We have our captain still at 41 years of age, Alex Ovechkin, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and Niemanen. Parasak, McKenna, Miroshnichenko, and then the fourth line, Dubé, Lachapov, and Entwistle. And that could change as well, depending on how the team simulates. On D, we have Cole Hudson, Denton Mateychuk. We have Iorio and Trethaway, Per Bergqvist, and John Carlson. And then already went over in net. Korpisalo backing up Daig there. So definitely a very interesting team. I don't really have too high hopes, to be completely honest, but I'm hoping that we can at least show some signs of, being a competitive team because we have not been that at all throughout this franchise thus far, and that's part of the reason of me making this roster how it is. So I'm hoping though in the next year or two we can actually really start to contend if it's not this year. As you take a look, we actually still have I completely forgot about these two. Ethan Belchetz and Joe Iginla, they're down in the CHL still, so they should be ready for next year. They're both 78s already, and they're already listed as minor scorers, but it's either they play in the NHL or the CHL. So depending on how we simulate, how they develop, we might be able to call them up later, but for right now, we'll let them stay down there. We still got guys like Daxton Rudolph, Nabokov, some other guys, low elites, like Nasir Gill coming up in the future as well. So we're looking really good for the next couple years. We just got to see if we can actually make that step anytime soon. Draft capital, we still have our first for this year, but not really anything else. We have a 7th. And then next year we have everything but a 3rd. I think we traded a lot of 3rds already, yeah. So we start to recuperate our draft picks, but we've been kind of flipping them and gaining some back. It's just been kind of back and forth. One thing I do want to watch for this season is for Pierre-Luc Dubois because he is finally off of his no-move clause. He can now be traded to one of the 17 teams. So we could potentially swing a deal for him. Now, I don't just want to, because I bet you if I do a fine trade, he will then get like a 2nd and 3rd for him. I don't think that's fair. His contract still isn't great. Oh, actually, I can't. Okay, well, that's kind of good. Yeah, he's still making over $8 million. He's like a middle 6 forward at this point. So I'm hoping he actually has a good year so we can boost that trade value, maybe trade him by the deadline, the offseason, whatever we feel is necessary. But I think that's enough yapping for now. We can get to the regular season as our coach is going to ask for our season goal. Let's just tell him playoffs again. There are some Kings struggle teams could make. Yeah, I agree. All right, it's good that our coach thinks that we can make the playoffs because I think last year he was like, or 2 years ago, he was like, yeah, this team is shit. So, just just go out there and play. And actually, Det Mateychuk also has a conversation. Our negotiations, there was some searches made my spot in the lineup. I want to make sure we're still on the same page. Yeah, he's okay. Yep, I promised him top 2 pair, and he's still there. So that's good. All right, so we can simulate up to the regular season now. I'm not going to make that trade as of right now. So yeah, and actually, once we actually get to the season start, I actually want to talk about the NHL and Washington in real life as well. They have been really good to start the year. I think they already have 10 wins. Ovi's already got 10 goals. He had 2 tonight against the Blues. And they went 8-1, like just killed them. But yeah, the Caps have been amazing to start the year. All right, here we are. First game of the season in Toronto. Let's just get straight into it. Slow sim here. As here we go. Game number 1 of year and number 4. First period. We are up 1-0. TJ Ginla starts out the year with his first goal. Shots are 15-11 in our favor. Second period, we are winning 2-0. Ryan Leonard. So that first line chipping in already. So that is good to see. A couple of our young guys right there to start the year. Can we hold this 2-0 lead? We'll find out here. 12 minutes left. Toronto power play, but they do not score. 10 minutes left. And okay, William Nylander with just under 10 minutes left makes it a 1-goal game. Can we hang on? Here we go. 5 minutes left. Come on, boys. Hang on to that lead. 2-1. 2 minutes left. 1. And there we go. A 2-1 victory for us to start the year. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's fine with me. All right, so 2 points for Ginla. So we had a goal and assist there. Trethway with an assist we see, and Daig was in the net for that. All right, so I'll take that. Let's just kind of, I'm going to open the calendar here. Just kind of go a couple weeks here, see where we're at. We can just go to the end of the month, actually. Here we go, up until this game against San Jose. So, yeah, very interested to see how this team does this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we are shit, as we lose 3 in a row after we beat the Leafs there. So, yeah, not a great start again. And you can argue that, okay, wow, we win 10-3 against the Flames. We're definitely going to have to look at that box score. But, yeah, if this first month is anything, it is telling us that we are going to be shit again. And you can tell we're a few years in the future. The Sharks are 7-1-0, which is crazy. I guess they do have James Hagens. I forgot about that. So let's take a look. First of all, let's celebrate our small victories real quick. Let's take a look at that game against the Flames. I always forget what that box scores is at. So let's see here. Okay, these games haven't happened yet. Let's go backwards. November 1st. Or was it? Oh, no, it was probably in October, I think. Right towards the end there. Where are we? So there's the Flames 4-2. Oh, this isn't even close to the end of October here. Let's keep going. Where are we at? There it is. 10-3 at the bottom right there. So let's take a look at what happened here. First of all, 3 stars. We had 2 goals and assists for McMichael, a goal and 3 assists for Leonard, and a goal and 2 assists for Trethaway. So seems like we scored all of our goals in this game. You can see all these guys chipping in, even guys like Mackenzie Entwistle. There you go. McKenna had an assist in that game. But speaking of that, let's take a look at our stats. I think we're only like 8 or 9 games in, but yeah, 8 games in, 2-6-0, so not great. Where do I go? Right here? Nope. Or was I right? God, I don't even remember where the fuck everything is already. There it is. Stat Central. Jeez. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. So I uploaded the last video, I believe, was on the 30th, but I actually wasn't even here. I had a few pre-recorded episodes and just had them scheduled. I actually left on the 26th for Florida. I was gone for a friend's birthday for about a week. So, yeah, I haven't recorded probably since like the 24th or 5th. So it's been over 2 weeks already. So it's been a minute since I played this game. But forward-wise, TJ Ginla, 11 points in 8 games. Crazy voice crack right there. McMichael with 9 and Leonard with 8. So that first line is doing great. The second line, though, -7, -9, and -8. So that is not good. Latchpuff on that fourth line with 3. McKenna's got 3 points so far, so that's not bad. -1. I mean, he's on the third line. So that's not nothing to worry about right now. Defensively, Cole Hudson leading the way with 6 points. Trethaway with 4 and -3, though. So defense been just okay. Nothing spectacular. And then in goal, wow. Corpusalo, well, he only played 1 game. Daig, not so hot to start the year, but I don't know whether to blame him or not because this team is not great. at all. So I don't really know what I could do because let me see. 2 points, 3 points, 3 points. Um, I mean, Ovi's been good, at least points wise. So you could argue. I mean, I don't want to touch that first line. They're doing good. Uh, move down like that, and then just play Neiman in at center. He's got 77 faceoffs, so I mean, he can at least win the draws for us. So I'm gonna try something like that, and then we'll move. We'll just keep Dubois right there. Uh, yeah, I really don't know what else I could do. Hudson. So that middle pair hasn't been great. We can try moving up Bergfist for a bit. Let's just do Aoreo for now, and then we'll do that. So, like I said, there's not much I can really do with this lineup. It's kind of just set in stone. Just depends on how we simulate. So, we'll get another month in here, see where we're at. Not looking like another good year for us, but I know you guys are probably getting tired of us just losing every year. I promise you, this is going to be the last year that we don't go for it all. I'm going to start after this year. I'm going to start putting all my chips in in one basket. We're going to sign free agents, hopefully. Well, yeah. First of all, we have not had a good free agent class like at all yet. Like these teams are hogging all the good players, man. This is like bullshit. Like every time we get a free agent, I look at the pending free agents. I'm like, oh shit, like McDavid or McCarr or McKinnon. And the top free agent ends up being like Teravainen. Like, nice, bro. 86 overall. Like yeah, that's going to really turn the franchise around. And yeah, we're 8-14-0 right now, so not great. Another shitty year looks like on deck, so we might just kind of want to get through this. But yeah, I really hope, like, all right, let's take a look at the pending free agents, all right? I bet you it's like a crazy list. Oh yeah, Quinn Hughes, the shooting guy, he'll be an RFA though. Robertson, Michkov, Jack Quinn, Zach Hyman. I guess that's not the greatest besides Quinn Hughes and Robo, but at least for UFAs. But I mean, still, like let's look up 2 years out. Adam Fox, Panarin, Haskin, and Crosby. Like look at this potential class. But I guarantee you, not even half of these guys will be available. And 3 years out, oh, jeez. Kucherov, Barkov, Kachuk, Mack. These are literally just all poster boys in the NHL right now. So, yeah, we just haven't had luck with the free agency class, and that's not an excuse because I should be able to put together a team without free agency. You know, that shouldn't be the necessity, but yeah, this offseason we're gonna make a lot of changes. I'm gonna make sure that we have a good team on paper to contend for next year because I know you guys are getting tired of mediocrity, so am I. Because this is, I mean, who wants to just sit here and lose? Like nobody. So let's take a look at the stats so far. I'm gonna lead the way with 21, as well as McMichael. They both have 21. Leonard with 19. Ovi with 17. So he's got 12 goals. He's leading the team in goals. Yeah, these guys are way in the minus, though. I think Neiman is on the... Well, no, he's still on the second line. Dubois is the one that got moved down. And Parasak probably went down in plus and minus. So I really don't know what to do with McKenna because he's not really breaking out, which I mean, I don't expect him to be point per game at 80 overall, but it's like, I need you to at least jump in overall or something. But I think instead of just sending him down, I'm just going to stick him in the NHL. Like, I'm just going to keep him, let him get his development. I don't really see any point to move him down at this point. He's already played enough in the NHL. Defensively, we're not really getting too much scoring. Cole Hudson with 11 points. He has a +1. Matejchuk a +4. So that pairing has actually been really good if you consider that we're a shitty team. But holy hell, Trethaway and Bergfist, that is not working. So we're going to change that. -13 and -11. Degas picked it up, so that's good to see. Is auto-rotate not on? Why is Corpus only played one game? Man, I know he's shit, but, like, he still should get some action. I don't know, under rules, is it? I don't remember ever having to... Yeah, okay. I guess our coach is just not allowing Corpusalo to play, and Dig just doesn't get to rest or something. I don't know. He's played like 15 games in a row, which is crazy. So let me go ahead and edit these lines real quick. I really don't know what to do with that second line because, I mean, there's not really anybody I can put on there. Second line D, though, we are definitely, at least Bergfist got some development, but we're definitely going to move him down. Let's see. I'm going to try... No, it's a -2. Never mind. Yeah, there's nothing really I can do. I'm tempted just to try out McKenna on that second. You know what? Fuck it. Let's have some fun. Let's put McKenna on that second line. He's playing with the captain, Ovechkin, and Neiman, another young guy. So we'll see if that could help get him some points in there. But there's nothing really to do for this year. I mean, at least with this current roster, we just got to live with it, kind of. I mean, we're already too deep in the hole almost to do anything. So I'm just going to get up to the deadline, to be honest. Get this year done and over with. And like I said, I promise you guys, after this year, we are going to go for it because I'm getting impatient with this team. I know you guys are getting impatient with this team. We need to get this franchise, because last franchise mode that we did in full, the Blackhawks one, we meant business. We drafted Bedard like they did. I think we had like a year or two that we were shit, and then we just started competing. We won a cup. Bedard got the game winner in overtime, and we were just a competitive team throughout that after that. So, yeah, look at us, 10-22-1. We are terrible. So actually, we probably should look to the draft lottery, see who's the top prospects. Of course, after I say that, we win 2 games against Buffalo and San Jose. But yeah, I don't see us winning like 10 games in a row to make us even close to 500. So we are not going to be a good team again this year. And actually, while we're being bad, let's actually take a look at that draft class, because I'm interested now. Because I think this starts the completely generated class, because wasn't last year DuPont, I'm pretty sure? Yeah, now we have Georges Trudeau. Surprise, surprise, he's Canadian. Kyler Stortini, Pierre Gamache, Hutchins, Denisov. Yeah, these guys are all generated. I don't even think you can make guys this young. So we know for a fact the top 3 picks are all medium elite, and there's one in the top 5 as well. So if you get a top 4 pick, you're guaranteed a medium elite, which is good to know. Now, we don't have anything on Trudeau here. He is in the queue. Do we have any scouts? Yeah, we can just do this. Skills assessment, potential comparison. Let's do that. Start scouting this guy. I mean, that's what we got to look forward to for this year, really, because we are terrible. We have Tommy Gardner, who can be a medium elite potentially, as well as Yanni Berg. Then these other guys are kind of just shots in the dark. Any low elites? Shots in the dark for right now. But we're still earlier in the season. Well, we're about midway now. But, yeah, I do want to see what McKenna has been doing in the last few games and what our team has been doing overall. So right now we have McMichael leading the way. Yeah, look at that first line. I mean, these guys are still... Again, let's definitely slow down. He's down to 31 and 41. But we still got guys producing at near mid... Wow, can't talk at all. We got guys producing near point per game. So even Ovi at 42 now. He has 19 goals in 41 games, 31 points on that second line. That's not bad. Yeah, look at that first line is the only guys in our forward group that are plus players, which is like incredible because we suck. So McKenna's had 4 points on that second line. Now, I can just base this off minutes. How many games did he played on that second line about? And a decent amount. So I think this is where he started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if that's correct, he's played about 20 games on that second line. He's got 4 points. So, man, he just doesn't want to develop. I don't get it. Every time I have a franchise player in the past, or if I see a franchise player, they just shoot up an overall, and it's Gavin McKenna. I always see him shoot up. Did they patch him in this game or something? Like, look at Niemannen's up to an 87, so he's developing. Shit, I mean, anybody else? Like, Bergfist up to an 82? Like, this is really strange. I'm just going to be stubborn. I'm just going to keep him there, and hopefully the ice time will help him grow, because I really don't know what else to do. AHL-wise, not that we've been paying attention to them at all. They're 15-8-1. Leading the way is... for forwards, at least Protas, and then Nasir Gill for defenseman, 32 points. Wow, he's actually doing really good. How many games have they played? Let me just take a look at their stats. Because Gill is the leading scorer here, 32 points in 34. Wow. All right, damn near point per game defenseman. This guy might be a beast for us in the future. I mean, look at this. So We drafted him here. He then shot up to 52 points, 91 points as a defenseman for the USA camp, and now he's a point per game in the AHL. So he's definitely going to make the roster next year, and he is somebody I am very excited for because. And when did we draft him? We drafted him in the 5th round. Wow. All right, so he is something to look forward to as well next year. I know we have a lot to look forward to, but we have to have some kind of production on the ice here. And then I do want an update on Belchetz and Joe Aginla, how they're developing, if at all. And okay, they're still at 78 right now. Let's see what kind of numbers they're putting up right now. So Belchetz 33 and 26, not bad. Aginla 31 and 29 after having 112 points is a bit low, but I'm sure they'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, we have a plethora of young talent. It is just, I sound like a broken record, but we got to simulate well at some point. So let's get to the deadline here. And we'll kind of just get through this year. I think we can probably just get to the end of the year by this episode. And yeah, I'm really anxious right now because I just want to see this team to start to compete. And I understand this roster. I'm not like devastated that we're not a playoff team right now. I'm not even really surprised. This is not the strongest team, but might be time to look into that Dubois trade because I don't think his value is getting any bigger. And if we can just move on from him, move on from that contract. I know he'd only have 3 years left after this, but I don't know. We don't have room for him. We won't have room for him next year for sure. And yeah, just too much money. I'd rather just sign a cap whale for a year. Like I think we have like Cal Clutterbuck for $20 million for this year just to reach the cap. And we are terrible. I can't get over how bad we are right now. 18, 34, and 1. That is horrendous. And you can tell we're not scoring a lot. 2 goals, 3 goals, 1 goal, 4. We won 2-0 against Chicago, but it's still not like we're only averaging like about 2 goals. There we go, 5-2 against Chicago. I guess we just know their number. Okay, 6-3 against St. Louis. We're going to go on a winning streak here? No. Vegas sends that hope. So we're getting up to that game against Philly, and we actually do win 2 in a row there. So we've won 4 of our last 5. We'll see what we can do against Philly here real quick. First period, 1-1 McMichael and Fraser Minton. Second period, Farabee for them. Third period, Michkov for them. All right, well, there's that. Let's actually see where we are in the standings. So we're 3 points back from the Islanders. Wow, the Ducks are 17, 37, and 8. I didn't even think we'd have competition for the worst record. So good to know that, once again, we're not going to have the best odds. Even if we do, we'll somehow land the 4th pick. You watch. But yeah, we are pretty bad still. So let's take a look at our stats at the deadline, as we are 23, 37, and 2. An impressive record for the wrong reasons. Yeah, you can just see the minuses here. But once again, I mean, these 4 have been carrying the load. And even Neiman, and he's getting up there, 39 points. Miroshnichenko, 34 on that 3rd line is actually really good compared to what we've been getting. I actually might move him up and move McKenna back down. McKenna is up to 28. There we go. We got to jump in overall for once. 81 overall. Yeah, Dubois is terrible. 28 points. He's got to go. But I think I'll move up Miroshnichenko real quick before I forget. He's earned the ice time here. So we're going to go Neiman and back at center. And then we're going to move up Miroshnichenko right there. McKenna can just play on the wing. He's been playing a lot of center this year. And yeah. There's that. Bergfist up in 83. He's shooting up in overall right now. AHL-wise, any development from Gill? Still a 78. He's at 48 points in 54 games. Yeah, he's going to have like a 60-point year at least, so that's good to see. As we can just go ahead and jump right into the deadline here, because we are just ready to get this year done and over with. At least we still have our 1st-round pick as well, because that'd be pretty big mismanaging if we didn't. So the top player on the trade block is Mackenzie Weegar. We have Rasmussen, Montour, Shane Pinto. So nobody crazy. I'm just going to see if anyone's offering anything for Dubois. I highly doubt it. But, I mean, at the deadline... Oh, Nick Hagan a third. Let's take a look. Nick Hague, I mean, it's a pretty hefty contract for him as well, and we get a third back. Honestly, I'm just going to do this. I don't really want to waste my time trying to make the perfect trade. They offered it to me, so I think that's fair that I take it. Let's actually move on from Pietrangelo as well, so they're completely offloading. Actually, I do want to see if I can just flip Hague, because we don't need him at all. Although we actually might want... I might just hang on to him just to make sure we're at the cap floor, though, because we were kind of pushing it. Let me take a look here. Yeah, like right over the line there. So, and nobody offered anything for him, so I guess they don't want him. We can just trade him at the draft, honestly. That's fine. I'll just healthy scratch him. And then besides that, I don't have a need to make any moves. We don't, I mean, most of our forward core is young, and then everyone besides Carlson is on defense. So, yep, that's really the only move I need to make. So I'm just gonna get out of here, and we're just gonna get right to the end of the year because, really nothing for us to do this year and just sit and watch our team be shit. So there is that. Jared Spurgeon on waivers from San Jose. That is crazy. At this point, though, we definitely don't need him. So I'm gonna go ahead and decline. And let's just get to the end of the year. We are terrible, and there is nothing else to say about this team. So let's just get this over with. We'll just slow some the last game because it could be. That is one thing I should mention. That could be, and we've been saying this the last few years, but it officially could be Alex Ovechkin's last game. That is like probably the only thing selling any tickets this year for us because we are horrendous. Let's see if we have an update on that first overall guy. And he actually moved down to 2. All right. Well, watch us get the first pick now that there's not a franchise guy. I guess I can't complain. We ended up with McKenna through a trade. But, yeah, it looks to be another forward-heavy draft, so I don't know how that's going to work. You know, you could argue if we get a top pick that we swing it for a star player. And it honestly would make a lot of sense for us because there isn't like a crazy franchise draft prospect. And we could actually, I said we wanted to contend next year. That would kickstart that immediately. We can get that top like 90-plus overall player, hopefully. Now, I think the difference between the first pick and like everything else is pretty big. So that might have a lot to do with it. But that could be an option for us. We'll have to see what we're looking at when we get to that. But we are gearing up for the end of the year here. We've got a few big wins to end the year. We did lose 11-4 to the Islanders a few weeks ago, but go ahead and ignore that. As we are right here at the end of the year. So St. Louis is our final opponent of the year and potentially the last team for Alex Ovechkin to face. So will he score in his potential final game? First period, 3-1. Mackenzie Elvis scores for us, and then Broberg, Thomas, and Neighbors for them. Second period, nothing for us. Come on, Ovi. Get a goal in your last game. Come on. Because I have a feeling he's going to hate him up. I know I've been saying that, but there's nothing for him to even play for at this point. Unless he really wants 1,000 goals. But I don't even know where he's at with that. So, as we look to get steamrolled by the Blues here to end the year, 4-1. 2 minutes left. And that's all she wrote. So, yeah, very uneventful year for us. We finished with 28 wins, so that is great. And we are tied for the best odds with the Ducks, so we'll have to see what happens there. We'll probably get fucked over somehow. All right, so let's take a look at our final stats here for the year. Looking like Connor McMichael leading the way with 69 points. We had Ryan Leonard with 67, so this is kind of his breakout year. Went from like a 40-point score to a damn near 70, 37 goals as well. So that is very good to see. We had Ovechkin with 65, 32 goals. Yeah, so he'd be 21 goals away. So if he plays one more year, he has a shot at it. But I don't know. I don't know about that. TJ Ginlas, 60 points. It's still a step in the right direction for him, so that's good to see. Tuomo Nieminen was, how much? 56, also an improvement for him. Miroshnichenko with 46, Parasak 41. McKenna ends with 39, so that's not terrible. Uh, that's not bad. He's still only an 81, so I'm hoping by next year, though, he can be like a solidified top 6 forward for us. Obviously, we have high hopes for him, though, so hopefully he can really make that jump soon. Defensively, Matejchuk with 33 points, which is a career high for him, which is good to see. Of course, playing on a bad team is going to have a pretty bad plus-minus. Cole Hudson with 27 there. A bit down, but the team sucked this year, so I'm not really worried about that. Nick, oh, you know what? It probably did best lines because we traded Dubois and I forgot to change them, but oh well. Nick Hague was there. He played some minutes, so they actually benched Carlson, so it really didn't matter. I wonder where they put like everyone else at. I have to take a look. And then Dagens with the 900, and again, way over 3 goals against, having a 900 save percentage isn't bad. I'm not gonna laser focus on his stats right now because this team is terrible, and I mean terrible. 28 wins. That is that's impressively bad. So I actually just want to see where they put everybody. They actually had McKenna on the second line. Yeah, this is actually exactly what I had before I moved Miroshnichenko up. And then they actually had Matejchuk and Bergfist, which is fair. It's just a -3. So there's that. All right, so now the question, there's a couple questions for this offseason. Will Ovi retire, and where will we finish in the draft lottery? So, actually, before we do that, I'm kind of just speeding through this. Let's take a look around the NHL. Let's kind of get a season wrap up for everybody else as well, because if we're not going to be entertaining, at least somebody would. Leading point score didn't even hit 70, so that tells you how good we were. But what did everybody else do? We have, no surprise, Connor McDavid leading the way with 117 points. His line mate Draisaitl with 115, McKinnon as well. Matthews 109, Kyle Connor 104. Leading in goals, Connor Bedard 67 goals. Is that a career high for him? It is. Already at 268 goals in 396 games for him. So, yeah, he's definitely proven his worth there. Cole Eiserman was 63. I swear every franchise, the last 3 years, whenever somebody makes him, he is always so lethal. I don't know how they it's always him too. I really don't get it. Maybe they just make his shooting category crazy and he just goes nuts. It's crazy to me how often I see him score 50, 60, 70 goals. Defensively, we have Cale Makar with 92 points, blowing everybody else out. The next highest with 75. So, yeah, he is definitely going to take home the Norris unless they really care about plus-minus. But I think 92 points, he has to go home with it. And then in goal, the winningest Thatcher Demko with 46, save percentage among starters. I don't think Freddie was the pure starter, but Jeremy Swayman with a 918 in 60 games. So it's going to be between him and Demko for the Vezina there, most likely. Rookie skaters, we had Ryan Rubrick and Sam Johnston, both hit 54. David Goyette with 53, Ty Voigt 51. So pretty close race for the Calder there. We'll have to see who they give it to. They could also give it to a Jacob Fowler, but I think some of the forwards had a bit better years there. So there is that, and then we'll find out the playoff tree here in a couple days. Or maybe just in the next day or two. So let's take a look. We have in the Western Conference, we have the Canucks taking on the Predators, the Oilers, and the Sharks, Jets, Blackhawks, and Avalanche in Utah. In the East, we have Toronto, Columbus, Florida, Boston, New York, Detroit, Carolina, and New Jersey. So a lot of the usual suspects. Good to see guys or teams like San Jose in there. Columbus, Detroit, teams that haven't been very good the last few years. Good to see some parity in the league there. So let's sim about a month. Let's go up to June 1st. We'll find out who wins the Stanley Cup, and then we'll get into the off season for us. But yeah, the big question for us really is, at least for this episode, is Ovechkin's future, because that would probably be probably be the most significant thing that happened, considering how shit we were. I can't get over how bad we were, man. I know I've said that like 8 times, but 28 wins, like that is bad. That's like you look yourself in the mirror as a GM after a year like that, and you're like, I knew we weren't gonna be great, but damn. As we're getting down to the end of the playoffs here, I assume it's a rematch from '94. The Vancouver Canucks and New York Rangers. The Rangers leading 2-1 right now. And let's see, 3-1. So will they repeat history just like in '94? And okay, Ducks fire their coach, and they do. The New York Rangers have won the Stanley Cup here in year number 4, and Rockford Ice Hogs, I believe that's Chicago's affiliate, with the Calder Cup. So we'll take a look here at the playoff stats real quick. That is actually my favorite team in real life, so shout out to the Rangers. Looks like we'll just sort by the Rangers real quick. So what's it called? The Conn Smythe here. A lot of contenders right here in the forwards. We got Lafreniere, Panarin, Zibanejad. Where is Fox? He usually is, okay, 16 and 21. And you could make the argument Igor, 9-15. I think it's going to go to Panarin, though. Unless they give it to Zibanejad because it was plus minus. But I'll just say, 12 goals, though. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'll just say Panarin because he led in points. But, yeah, it looks to be a pretty all-around effort. Gabe Perreault's up there now. Brendan Hoffman. Wow, Gabe Perreault's a low franchise right now. So, yeah, Rangers looking like a dynasty. Kakko's up to 87, which is crazy. And they still got guys like Kreider still producing, 37 years old. So, good for him to get that cup right before he retires. Trocheck's still there. Yeah, it's pretty much their team that they have right now with a couple of their young guys inserted in there. So, yeah, just a team that's been knocking on the door the last few years finally gets that Stanley Cup. At least I don't think they had one before this in this universe. Let's take a look. Yeah, nope. The winners so far have been Vancouver, Toronto, Utah, and now New York. So there is that. What a surprise. Toronto won the President's Trophy, but didn't do nothing with it. Art Ross goes to McDavid for the 4th year in a row. Draisaitl, though, with the Hart. Okay, so wonder if that's voters fatigue or maybe I guess them extra 2 points didn't mean nothing. The Norris... Okay, this game is so dumb. Now, listen, I'm a huge Adam Fox fan. Rangers my favorite team, but Queen's had 92 points. Makar had 92 points. 17 more. I don't think plus minus should matter as much as it does. That is just ridiculous. Lady Bing goes to Panarin. The Calder does go to Johnston of the Islanders. And Panarin does get the Conn Smythe as well. Vezina to Demko as well as the Jennings. Masterton to Eric Chernak for the 2nd year in a row. Columbus's coach of the year, Jack Adams. Selke to Robert Thomas. Ted Lindsay to Draisaitl, and then Maurice Richard to Bedard. So there is the award lineup. And now we get our 2 big questions answered here in about 5 seconds. So let's just sim to the draft. And after I hit OK here, I believe it's going to show me the draft lottery. So let's pray we get the first pick. Let's see. And what do you know? Okay. We slide all the way down to 4. The New York Islanders go from 10-1. I think the lottery is way too, teams move up way too often. It's a bit weird. I think this last draft lottery, no one moved. I think the Sharks were at 1 and they stayed there, and everyone else was just where they were at. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen a lot or every year, but 10-1, come on, man. All right, well, we fall down to 4. Now, I did say if you have a top 4 pick, you're guaranteed a medium elite, which still does stand true. Although these guys are all forwards, and I don't even know what we really... Do we need a prospect at all, is the question. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll have to find out. But the other big question is Alex Ovechkin hanging them up. He is. Him and Sidney Crosby. Wow. Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, Patrick Kane, Jamie Benn, Erik Karlsson, Victor Hedman, Chris Letang, Jordan Eberle, Max Pacioretty, Zach Hyman, John Carlson, John Marchessault, Ryan Suter. This is probably the greatest retirement class of all time. Maybe I just aren't they? I mean, come on, Ovi and Sid and Malkin and Letang. Like these, this is the 2010s. This is literally the 2010s. Or Patrick Kane. Yeah, I'm not even going to debate it. This is the greatest retirement class of all time. So there he is. Alex Ovechkin ends his career with 1,754 games, 979 goals, 856 assists, 1,835 points. You take a look. He had a Stanley Cup, a Conn Smythe, 3 Harts, 3 Ted Lindsay Awards, an Art Ross, 9 Maurice Richards, and a Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year. A 1-of-1 trophy case, greatest goal scorer of all time, the GOAT for us, man, the greatest Capital ever. Our captain, Alex Ovechkin, has hung them up. Sidney Crosby, probably a top 5 player in a lot of people's eyes of all time. I mean, you just look at his trophy case. Not even to mention his gold medals, his accomplishments besides all that. I mean, Patty Kane as well. Malkin. Look at these trophy cases. You know, even Ben, Art Ross, a few Norrises, a few cups in here. We got Pacioretty with a cup. Yeah, I mean, just a crazy class. John Carlson, Ryan Suter, who was one of the best stay-at-home defensemen of the 2010s. We haven't even got to goalies. Is there any goalies? Not really. Cam Talbot, Jake Allen, they're kind of bringing it down a little bit. But, yeah, ridiculous retirement class. Absolutely crazy. And, I mean, some of these guys, like, yeah, Crosby, 88, Ovechkin, 86. Okay, maybe just those two. Hedman, 82. I mean, these two could have played another year if they really wanted to. But I respect it. I mean, 40 years old, 42 years old, going to be 43 in a few months. 41 from Malkin. I mean, just an absolutely crazy retirement class. So there is that. One last look at all of the points there. So there is that. And the era post Alex Ovechkin has officially begun. And now we start to really find our identity now. Now we got to find what kind of team we are, who's going to be our leaders, you know, who are the Washington Capitals? That is the big question now that Ovechkin is retired. So this is going to be a crucial offseason. One more look at the draft class coming up, at least some of the top guys. And in the next episode, we will get into the draft. We'll get into the offseason of year number 4. And like I said, I'm going to make this promise to you guys. Year 5, we're going to try to contend. I'm not going to guarantee any playoffs because we have not even shown any life yet. But I'm going to promise you guys, I'm going to give it my all to put a team together for next year. A legit competitive team. Because I am, and I know you guys are, as I've said about 10 times, tired of the mediocrity. So Ovechkin's retired. We've moved on from guys like PLD. Carlson's retired. Now it's time for our young guys to step up. It's time for us to be a team, you know, just a team. It's time for us to just be a team. But appreciate y'all checking this one out. I know it's been a while since the last episode, but kind of got my routine back in place, so we should be pumping these out again. And I forgot to mention this as well. I really appreciate the support this series has gotten. Every episode has eclipsed over 100 views. A lot of them are getting over 200 views, and I believe the first episode is over 600 views right now, which is crazy. So really appreciate you guys with the support. And as always, I'll link the last episode in the description. I know it's been a while if you need to catch up on anything. And I also have a playlist for all the episodes, so if you need to catch up throughout the whole series, you can check that out as well. But appreciate you guys checking out this one. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.